Hello, everyone. This is Heartland Assembly in Ord, where I'm preparing to lead the Sandhills sectional meeting. It's a snow makeup. And I was looking at my notes on emerging leaders, and it reminded me of a quote from Jeffery Portmann last year at Multiply Council. It was during the Saturday morning Q&A. He said, the first 10 leaders on your team determine the next 100. He built a solid, healthy team in the beginning for sustainable growth. So as we're all trying to grow and trying to find new leaders, I just want to focus on three principles that connect to that statement. Those principles are the reverse tithe, the triple dive, and smooth strides. So number one, reverse tithe. The leadership team you're building and growing is a tithe of the potential growth God could bring into your ministry. So you want to grow by 50, shoot for 5. If you're looking to grow by 20, find 2, and so on. Sometimes we find those 2 leaders, and then when we grow 4 or 5 people, maybe double growth, we're satisfied and we stop. When God is thinking bigger, in fact, 10 times as much, we need to increase our vision. The second principle is the triple dive. The idea here is that you would try to recruit at least 3 times the amount of leaders that you actually need. When Jeffrey started with 10 people, he probably had recruited 30. Leaders have to have thick skin and get used to disappointment, because often we have twice as much rejection as we have acceptance. That's a tough price to pay, but it's the cost of growth, and it's totally worth it. The third principle is the smooth strides. You know, the 10 leaders Jeffrey started with didn't have to go find 10 people each to reach 100. They each found one, recruited them onto the team, and then they find one. Recruit them onto the team, and they find, and so on. It's compounding growth where your leadership team grows at the same rate as your ministry. Now, we often look at new people that come into our churches and think they couldn't possibly help us grow. We notice their limitations too much. But I want to change our paradigm. What if everybody that's a part of your ministry right now is part of God's strategy to help you grow? And your job is not to make the next Benny Hinn or worldwide evangelist, but simply help them grow as a leader the next step in their journey. What's the next thing they need to learn? And you help them process that. That's why we're so focused on healthy ministers, because they're such a big part of healthy ministries in our network. Speaking of the network, I'm so glad every time we come together, you're rubbing shoulders with potential teammates of yours down the road. Now, certainly don't ask somebody from somebody else's team to be on your team without that team leader's permission to approach them. But I'd love for us to start prioritizing our Nebraska ministers as a first option when we're building our teams and looking for teammates. Proverbs 11:14 says that victory is certain with plenty of wise leaders. I'm always praying that each of our ministries would have at least 40 active participants, 5 lay leaders, and 1 paid staff for every 40 people. Would you join me in that goal and in that prayer as the first 10 will create the next 100 as we're raising up emerging leaders across our network? Until next time, always walk holy, work hard, and worship Him. We'll see you soon. God bless.